Welcome back to A Toda Madre. It's your boy Rod Less
And the homie Will.
with your unscripted take in your new channel. It makes me think if you're going to be talking WWE in the future on your channel, if you're going to be saying things that you don't like or disagree. For instance, are you going to say who's your prediction winner for the Royal Rumble? Or no, I don't know. I mean, because it is at the end, it is an unscripted take. You're going to talk about whatever. So it just makes me wonder on that part, on that particular case.
Right. So really when it comes down to it, yeah, I'll touch on it. Am I touching on the weekly shows? No. Mostly because I have access to Raw, 100% I do, but I don't watch it that consistently enough to be able to talk about it every single week. So if I were to touch up on things, it'd definitely be PLEs mostly. Now it also reminds me I don't have access to PLEs because ESPN, so I'm just like, but obviously I'll figure my VPN and I'll move my stuff around to be able to
Your
watch it.
pay-per-view. Your pay-per-view. You'll figure out your pay-per-view.
My VPN, yes, my free VPN trials for every single one that I download every time.
I mean, you're not that far from Canada, so.
I mean, they don't matter. I typically use the UK, just because
Oh, because you're British. You're British.
British, and I don't want for there to be French language that I'm not gonna understand.
Talking about the British, and well, not just British. Talking about the UK-ish. Let's give it up for what we've been waiting for a good while now. Drew McIntyre winning.
Yeah, I mean, for a second I thought you were gonna say Anthony and Joshua knocking out Jake Paul, but yes, also, Drew McIntyre is definitely taking his championship where it belongs.
As for Anthony Joshua, because of the accident that he suffered, that he lost his two best friends, he's officially retired from boxing, from what I've heard. So we're not gonna get to see Logan Paul versus Anthony Joshua, how he called him out. It is a sad loss in his department since it was his best friend and another close friend. For Drew McIntyre, I'm gonna say it right now for the Cody Whiners, kind of like the 40 Whiners, right? Anyways, Cody Whiners or Cody Crybabies. If you're gonna say, "Oh, Fatu helped him out," he helped Drew win. Technically, no, because Drew was already in his way out when Fatu stopped him. Correct me if I'm wrong.
No, you're right, 100%. Not only that, but he also attacked Drew. Those who've been watching the channel know that my daughter watches WWE a lot of it more than me actually, and she wants to be in it so bad. But she was saying I think Jacob Fatu turned heel, and I was like, well, no, because technically Jacob Fatu attacked the heel, and he also attacked the face. So really, there's no heel. It's not like he attacks one certain person. He went towards both. But
He's in it. That's something where I hate where kayfabe heel has lost his touch with, like, when you're a real bad guy. Like, for instance, Drew McIntyre was a bad guy, but was he truly a bad guy? Because a lot of his promos made sense. So I wasn't sold on the idea that he was all bad, right? And technically he was a villain though. And Fatu, or like Roman Reigns, he's borderline in the middle, where he can do some heel shit, but he's also babyface, or at least the people want him to be babyface, but he keeps on doing heel shit. So you can only do both. You can't do one. I mean, you can only do one. You can't do both. And I think in this case of Roman Reigns, I feel like he is in that echelon where whatever he does, people are not gonna care. They're not gonna boo him no more.
no, I mean, no, he's obviously won the crowd over. The fans are his. He's already reached that status where, and also obviously part timer. I mean, look at The Rock. If he comes back, is he gonna get booed? No. So he's already reached that point where, yeah, he might not be doing movies. Roman Reigns might not be, but every time he comes back, he's getting that pop, no matter what.
Yes, and that's where I come in and say, for my take on the Royal Rumble, I do not want him to win. I don't want Roman Reigns to win for the sole purpose and reason that you're a part timer. You don't need to win. I know that WWE might want to wash that what's it called, that old Royal Rumble of his where he won and he got booed because people wanted Daniel Bryan. Maybe that's the thing. Maybe WWE wants to make money and they're gonna have Roman Reigns as main event in Vegas, but I don't need him to win right now.
I mean, I think it's too early to call it, even if you don't need him to win. But I think it's going to be based on who's holding the title at that given point in time. Because right now I don't see Roman winning it right now as we speak because of who are the current champions. That's the reason why I don't see Roman winning it at the moment. You know,
Well, this is what they're saying from a little bit of that I read. A hot take. And that was like, if it goes that direction, I fucking hate WWE. But they're saying that Drew wins because he's a heel. Then Sami Zayn wins in Saudi Arabia Royal Rumble, right? And then at the Elimination Chamber, he faces Cody, a heel Cody. So, and Royal Rumble, Roman Reigns wins. And in that pay per view, Sami Zayn wins because he is what's it called, like Muslim or something like that.
right?
And then he faces Cody Rhodes at the Elimination Chamber for the title, not at the Elimination Chamber, but just for the title, and Cody wins. So then Roman chooses Cody to have a trilogy at WrestleMania as Roman the face and Cody the heel. The thing is, like, I don't need to see this 3 times already. Not as pay per view main event.
And that's what I'm going with. I mean, right now, again, the title picture right now, you have Drew. Maybe they just give Drew the title for this European run because they're currently in the UK, wherever they are. I think in UK, or I'm not sure where they are, but I know they're in Europe.
What was Dusseldorf is in Germany, Berlin.
I have no idea. Geometry or geography was not my cup of tea. But yeah, so right now they're out there in Europe somewhere, so it's like maybe they wanted Drew to hold it while they're in Europe, and once they get back, he loses it. I don't know. Yeah, potentially I could see a world in which you touched up on where Oba Femi could potentially win the Royal Rumble, and then he faces Drew at WrestleMania, as it was a tease in which when it was Drew versus Cody, Drew versus Oba, and then Drew came out. Sorry, Oba versus Cody, and Drew came out and interfered on that match. So it was a tease they gave us, which could have been Oba's first feud. And who's the current champion right now? Drew.
What's crazy is that because only one guy beat Oba Femi and he avenged that loss, right? And then technically he didn't lose against Cody. So imagine the run if WWE is willing to push the trigger on this guy and send him off flying. Imagine if he wins the Royal Rumble as number 27th or 30th as the last entrance, he wins it all, and then he goes on to main event WrestleMania night 1 or the fight number 1 in WrestleMania 1, night 1 or night 2, but in the beginning or the ending, and then he beats Drew for the title. Imagine that. Can WWE do that when we know? I'll say it right now. WWE's fucking racist.
I mean, you have a British as a champion, so not really racist, but or Scottish, whatever.
Difference between being British and white and being African and black.
So here's my take real quick. It's gonna be simple. Oba Femi does not show up to SmackDown, does not show up to Raw. He's gone for the WWE for the time being. When is his next appearance? Simple. Royal Rumble number 30. He's not gonna announce it. He's gonna be number 30. He's not gonna be announced because that's gonna be the biggest entrance, and that's potentially where he wins it, like you had mentioned. It's a good possibility that he wins it at 30. But again, I feel like he's not gonna appear at SmackDown and Raw and during the NXT shows. You're gonna be like, have you guys gotten a hold of Oba? Where's Oba? Where's Oba? All this commotion about Oba because he just disappeared by vacating the title. Nobody knows where he's at. Obviously we'll see more about that tomorrow when that happens, to see how to follow up with that story, but. I'm pretty sure they'll be like, you know what? We'll take you off script until the Rumble, and this time being, enjoy your vacation, 1 month vacation, till the Rumble on the 27th of this month or whatever, And at the same time, you got LA Knight coming back. You got Chris Jericho, who's rumored to come back. So
I forgot about him.
Yeah, so no, I don't think he's gonna be in a title picture, but he's gonna be a big presence, and for all we know, maybe Oba teams up with Chris Jericho, for a mic. At hand, the list. You just made the list, type thing, He's not gonna be back for that. Your hair just made the list.
that I wouldn't mind that, and if Jericho's ready to call it quits, this 1 year contract, expect Gunther to retire him, just like I'm expecting Gunther to retire AJ. They're gonna give him the new moniker of the Legend Killer.
I mean, potentially. I mean, there's a reason why. they broke AJ from the tag team with Dragon Lee, and it was like, hey, you gotta get your solo push because you're retiring in 2026, and this is his year to retire. So yeah, I'm
I
pretty sure Gunther is retiring him, and obviously later this year. Today they had their match, and in a way AJ won, but the ref didn't see it, so so it happened.
That's true. And what's it called? It's just it's for AJ to call it a run. I feel bad in a way that I missed a lot of his career when he was. I didn't miss a lot, but I missed a lot. If it makes sense. Like I know that he was there, but he was never the guy for me to watch. So because I was always watching WWE and TNA was like it was worse than SmackDown basically. It was a hit or miss for me. Like, well, I don't care for it. And if I was awake and I was on TNA or sorry, Spike TV, or TNN at that time, I would watch it. But not all the time. I'm not gonna be saying, oh yeah, I watched it from the beginning. No, I'm like I watched it when the WWE guys started going there. We're talking about Kurt Angle, Kevin Nash, Booker T, uh, Rob Van Dam, Sting. Well, technically, Sting is more of a TNA guy than a WWE guy.
I mean, Sting did what, a year and a half in WWE, if anything. I
Yeah,
think
a year and a half or 2 years, something. I think he did
something
more
like
on
that. Yeah,
AEW.
yeah,
No,
he did way more in AEW. Yeah, for sure. Because after WWE, he went to AEW.
yes, yes, and he still gave us bangers in W and AEW.
I mean, he
And
just
even
retired what, 2 years ago, I think.
yes,
Mhm.
and even right now, when you look at AEW, I feel like it is bigger than TNA, even though TNA is being helped by the WWE. So I I think the biggest show that they ever did that they said that they broke a record was 8,000 people on their sitting chart or 5,000 people. It was one of those two numbers. I forget. It was like a pretty low number because I'm used to WWE.
But the thing is WWE actually helping TNA? I don't think so. They think they're using TNA as a NXT type level, where it's like, you're gonna help us with development. We'll sign them into our WWE contracts and eventually push them onto SmackDown and Raw. Look
And I'll
at
say,
look at Joe Henry. He had the hype at TNA. They eventually he came over and they signed him to a contract, and now he's still showing his face at TNA, but he's signed by WWE.
yes, and what's it called? I'll say this: the one that got the biggest help, and because sometimes you do need two champions. Sometimes, like okay, for instance, like right now, Raw and SmackDown, you kind of want to give the belt to Braun Breaker because he's hot right now. But the thing is, I'm like, you just gave it to CM Punk. Like you're not gonna take away the title after one defense or now two defense. No, I think this was his first defense.
Hmm.
Yeah, this was his first defense. I'm like, you're not gonna take away the belt without him defending it. I'm like, now he might do the Saturday night main event with Finn Balor. He'll probably have another one in Royal Rumble, and most likely he'll probably end up losing it in WrestleMania.
I
So
mean
I'm like,
I mean that might be it. I mean, he might potentially defend it at the chamber. I'm assuming they might have him defend it at the chamber because he is at home and like, hey, let's give him that moment at home.
oh, it's gonna
Because
be
my yeah, the mentioned chambers in Chicago.
okay.
So that's why I had him winning the chamber and then facing Seth Rollins for the title at Mania. But obviously, all that went out of the way once the title got vacated.
Mm.
Because of the injury. But
So,
no, yeah. So now I think he defends the title at home, and then he drops it at Mania.
so you okay? So he defends the title, but not inside the chamber, huh? You think that chamber
No, no,
still?
no. Chamber's gonna be, hey, whoever wins this chamber match is gonna face the champion at Mania.
All right. So okay. So my point was when they came to the Braun Breaker thing and all that, right? Like he needs a belt or Gunter with his momentum that he has with John Cena, he needs the belt. So it sucks that there's no belt in between. So that's when I was going back to TNA thing. I'm like, it worked for freaking Trick Williams. That he was getting pops over here in TNA. Oba Femi was getting pops in NXT. So it became a thing where I'm like, I'm bringing my 5,000, he's bringing his 5,000. And now that Trick Williams went to SmackDown, and you started hearing all that people with his theme song, whoop that Trick, whoop. Like I was surprised that I was like, oh wow, you're kind of over already. Like it worked out. There's some people that come from NXT, then people don't fucking say shit. They stay quiet. Like who's that? Who's that? Who's that? And
Yeah, I mean,
now
I think it just really, when it comes down to NXT, in my case, for instance, I'll keep up with it when it's more entertaining than your current, Raw and SmackDown. If Raw and SmackDown's not entertaining, I'm not really gonna care. But there was a time when you had, Trick Williams, Carmelo Hayes down there, and you had, Oba, and now obviously Ricky Sainz, and you had, what's his name, Ethan Page. You have all these names that are just like, bro, they're NXT, and that I could name more NXT wrestlers than what I could do SmackDown or Raw that aren't established wrestlers from like the past, the CM
It,
Punks and whatever.
and I think that that's a funny part of that because in WWE they want to protect many stars. There's no real finishers. It's like, oh, disqualified. Oh, disqualified. Oh, like, dude, like, just fucking lose already. It's
Right.
okay to lose. At the end of the day, it's fucking it's scripted.
Yeah.
Like, it's a scripted take.
Yeah. Basically, essentially, yeah, very much is.
And that's where people tell us that, well, if you know it's a scripted, why do you watch it? I'm like, it's a fucking movie at the end of the day. It's a movie.
I
Why
mean, it's a really well entertaining TV series, because it's what it is. It's a TV series. It's a TV series in which it has however many seasons going on. It holds the record for most live episodes in a row. Where it's not a rerun. So they're gonna forever hold that record.
they're what, 30 years right now? I
I think
think
it's 30 years, something like that.
about 30, I think it was. So I'm like, I can see this going for at least 100 years. I don't think WWE is gonna die anytime soon.
No, I mean, I don't know how it would, to be honest. Like, obviously, the Vince McMahon selling it didn't kill it. Now you have TNA, who is struggling, but they won't sell. I'm sure they'll get out of debt before they sell, and if they do end up selling, they're gonna end up selling probably to Nick Khan over at AEW, and at that point, it's still gonna keep going then, because I'm pretty sure Nick Khan will keep the WWE name. He won't change that.
Yep. And then like even AAA, that was a company that was going down under. By then signing with WWE, it helps them out too. Like, 'cause
Yep.
now you're getting freaking the Wyatt Six was over there doing their Halloween thing in November or October, I think. No, December, I think it was. It
I think
was
it was
the
December, yeah.
it was the Psycho Clowns, que son como tres de ellos contra los Wyatts.
Right, yeah.
So I'm like, when I saw that, I'm like, oh wow, I'm like, the Wyatts in Mexico. I'm like, that is fucking random, and I love it. Like, it's just that something that I loved about this that not everybody talks about is that they're training Mexicans how to wrestle Americans, like the American style, as opposed to la lucha libre. That's why when a lot of these fools came over, they sucked. Well, they didn't suck, sino que they didn't know cómo acomodarse. That's why Idolo worked, and Idolo came to, I forgot where did he came from first. I think he went to TNA first, I think, and that's why he kind of got that American style. And Penta, since he was like 25, he's been here in the States wrestling like that. That's why he knows English, because he's been doing it for, I think, if I want to recall, it's either 10 or 15 or 20 years that he's been here, because El Rey Network was at the same time that I was with my wife, and I've been married with her for 15 years. Yeah, Rey Network had Lucha Underground, which they had a lot of Americans, Asians, and Mexicans wrestling there. So they mixed their things, but Lucha Underground was more TV show than WWE. Like, we're talking about, like, oh, this wrestler got a fucking poison venom, so he becomes like the Venom character, and now he's like unstoppable. Yeah, like that. Like, it's still wrestling, but just a little bit extra.
Right, yeah. Like more movie type than anything, more cartoonish in a way.
Ándale.
Cartoonish in viewer life, I guess.
I'm gonna put it this way: Penta wrestled Chelsea Green, Io Sky, and fucking la otra chinita. What's her name? The other Japanese, Sairi Kane.
I mean, they want to get paid the same, right? They got to earn it.
That is wild. That's wild. That's the so like when it comes to this upcoming weeks, I think it's gonna be Saturday Night Main Event, and then I think it's Royal Rumble. When I see all this upcoming week, obviously, I think it was too soon for a Finn Balor push, because I saw highlights that he came out to do his promo with CM Punk. He should have gotten some victories in before challenging Punk. I know that it's too late to do that. Now he's here, but it just sucks because I'm like, I wanted a push for Finn just for him to lose. He's gonna lose.
I mean, yeah, you're on a losing streak. You haven't won in God knows how long, and obviously, and I thought with the whole Finn push, I mean, hey, where's Dom? He's obviously injured. He hasn't vacated the titles yet, and he has 2 titles that he's holding. So it's like you could at least vacate one and give it to Finn. It's that simple. Like, Finn could take a run with the Intercontinental, why not? And then obviously for the AAA title, the Mega Campeonato, whatever, give it to Grande Americano. Like, why not? It's already there. It's already a storyline being written. Like, just let it go at this point,
And I know that JD McDonough is injured también, pero they could have easily just said, I was like, oh, in the honor of Judgment Day, because there's no leaders, I'm gonna talk to the manager so that you can defend my titles until I come back. And then you restart that Finn Balor, Dominic Mysterio thing where, okay, now we're gonna split them. Now we're gonna fight for the belt because I was defending it for you.
Right.
And it just, I feel like sometimes WWE doesn't know how to think, or I don't know, like they overcomplicate things or things that just don't make sense.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, you could go two ways about it, right? Like, hey, I was defending it for you. Like, yeah, but I want my title back. I'm back now. Like, now it's not gonna happen. Here we go. Or two, I lost a title. Like, I had you defending for me. You lost my title. Now we're gonna feud without for no title, but we're still gonna feud because you lost my title.
and like, okay, and you said about the Grande Americano, like, ese medio sirve por la razón de que I'm like, yeah, they're friends in Mexico, but they're not friends over here, right? They're friends over there, like
Right.
that's their thing. So it can kind of work, like where you're like, hey, you want to defend my title, or actually make them lose the belt to him in Triple A and a fucking on a Monday night wrestling, whatever, or like something quick where he loses it without getting too much injury in there, or some shit like that. Y como se llama? Because I know that they want to keep him as a double champion, but it just kills the momentum of him as a champion and the belt. Because now we don't have a belt. Now we're looking just at CM Punk, and Becky's doing a good job, even though I think she should have never won it back. You're just doing it for fucking AJ Lee. The tag teams having it to the Usos. I understand why they did it. You said it yourself. AJ Styles last year. But could you had given these fools another title defense, two more title defenses?
Yeah,
Like
I mean, yeah,
you
you don't have to pull the trigger right away, to into whatever is next, or maybe even okay, find each other titles, drop onto somebody else. It doesn't have to be the Usos just because they came back and they're the most, I guess, prolific WWE team that there is now,
yeah.
But it's like you have other options. You could have easily given it back. Why not give it back to the Judgment Day, to the War Raiders, to the why not a New Day? Ever since they became bad, they haven't won anything. Give it to them. Like
Mhm.
to have the heel run as a New Day heel.
See, like it's just I just didn't like that. I'm not trying to be an Uso hater. I just think like I'm okay if it would have been the Usos, but you should have given these fools like another two more title defenses. Like
Before
I
yeah,
know,
before they actually dropped them. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, y como se llama, si me agüita un poco. I'm like, damn it, nigga, that sucks. But I completely understand why. Like even if Chris Jericho comes back, hopefully he's not in the tag team or anything, but I expect him to feud with Roman Reigns because he never had a feud with him. I expect him to have a feud with Gunther. That's gonna be epic on the mic. But are we getting heel Jericho or are we getting face Jericho? Because if we get heel Jericho, we can't have him face Gunther. I don't want to see him face fucking CM Punk. Maybe Cody, since
I
he's
mean,
the one retired, not retiring him, but because of Jericho, Cody couldn't win the AEW title.
uh, I mean, it could go a lot of ways. Honestly, I think it's gonna be, even if he is a heel, I'm sure Gunther could turn on face. It's that simple. Gunther is the type of heel who will be like, you know what, I could turn you face because even though you're heel, I'm still gonna retire you, and I don't care who you are. It's that type of promo. It's just who he is. I mean, look at the whole Gunther Goldberg feud. People don't like Goldberg. They were booing him, and then the minute he faced Gunther, they were cheering for him. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? And he did his speech, and they were booing him again. So it's like, you know what I mean? It was
yeah.
just that little. And by booing him, I mean like obviously they were talking bad about Goldberg. Yeah, he got cut off early, and then Goldberg whined about it, and people were like saying, "Bro, like shut up, you already got your run. Like that's enough. What else did you want?"
And,
Like so
and
so
that
stuff like that. So it's like people are still gonna, even though he's heel, he'll be face for that run with Gunther for sure, guaranteed.
and I feel like in a way I feel it sucks for older wrestlers because I feel like this is my generation or even the young, maybe even younger than me, who talk shit on all these old wrestlers at like for instance like Goldberg because of guys like Bret Hart who talk shit on him all the time. Every fucking interview I see with this guy, Bill Goldberg. Anytime they're like, bro, fucking move on. You're 70 years old. Or maybe
Right.
60. I'm not, like, but still, like you have money. Like, why are you bitching and crying? You got a big ass contract from WCW. Like, shut the fuck up already. Or even with when Hogan did it. Yeah, Hogan did a lot. And I'm sorry, but in business, the way that you want to make money, sometimes you have to step over people, unfortunately, because not everyone's a nice guy. Look at Undertaker, what he's doing. That he fucking put his bitch on his wife. Sorry, his wife on the podcast. You think people want to hear his wife? Like she didn't even do shit in WWE, And for the people who say, "Oh, yeah, she did," no, she didn't. Michelle McCool was nothing. She doesn't deserve to be in the fucking WWE Hall of Fame.
She was a diva, bro. What you mean? All the divas are gonna hit the WWE Wall of Fame.
I'll put it this way: China did more, and she's still not in the WWE Hall of Fame.
That is true. I mean, again, it's another political thing where it comes down to. I mean, look at we could talk sports, MLB, Pete Rose being banned up until when he finally died. Okay, maybe he should be in now. Like, okay, now that he's dead, so it's like,
and they're gonna do the same shit with Barry Bonds.
yeah, I'm pretty sure. That's my point. So and here in WWE, it's just politics. It's the same thing. It's the same difference. There's gonna be people who should be in who aren't in. And unfortunately, it's just how which rich people work, I guess.
I'm gonna put it this way: as a non-wrestler, Vicky Guerrero did more than Michelle McCool.
Is she not in?
Is she?
I think she's in. Yeah, no, she's in. I think she's been in. Yeah,
Okay.
I think so. I don't quote me, but I think he's in. She's in.
I'll look it up. Because honestly, for me, I remember her more than Michelle McCool.
Oh no, yeah, for sure. I believe Michelle McCool, all she did was actually just wrestle. Honestly, I mean, she wasn't the greatest, but I think that's all she did. I don't think she was like a manager for anyone. I don't think she did anything else besides wrestle.
Okay, here we go. No, Vicky Guerrero's not personally in the WWE Hall of Fame.
Oh well, there you go. See,
and if you were, and I remember I said this last year because my friend gave it to me. He's like, "You want to get Dominic more heat, yeah. More heat?" He's like, "Leave him drop Morgan for Vicky Guerrero."
I mean, not on the girlfriend type, but hell no. No, that would have never happened. Not even in real life. Not even in fakeness.
like even if
drop
you wanted
the Judgment Day as a whole for Vicky Guerrero, yes,
yeah, and that whole crew would become face, or maybe not, but they would despise this for a lot more.
Yeah, for sure.
He's with Vicky, and I'm like, that's how much heat that woman carries. That people just like to boo her. She's one of those that she's a natural heat, and she knew how to work it. That's why I always said Eddie Guerrero, yes, passed away. Rest in peace, Eddie. I'm like, and they gave his wife a job because she like era por su marido y todo, but she became her own thing. Like after years, she became her own fucking thing. Y como se llama? Where you're like, yeah, Vicky Guerrero's not just Eddie's wife or Eddie's past wife, like su wife que era, but she became her own fucking character, and she knew how to play a bitch. She knew how to play a cougar.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I'm not sure about the cougar part, but yeah, she knew how to.
Edge again, Dolph Ziggler.
I mean, that's different, bro. I mean, Edge was going after anything, like so. It doesn't matter, So, but at the end of the day, yeah, you're right. She deserves it more than Michelle McCool. Again, the only thing I might remember her by would probably be a bra and panty match, maybe. It was, that simple.
There is interviews where she has said that they've told her to tone it down on wrestling because she was making the guys look bad, which I'm like, well, that's on the guys, not on her. On this particular case for WWE, but still, I'm like, I don't remember too much of Michelle McCool, to be honest. Like, I'm not trying to be fucked up or anything, but when I remember girls like China, when I remember girls like Lita, Trish Stratus, and then there's like a big gap in between because I fucking remember the Bella Twins, even though they sucked. But I remember Edge's wife, the Canadian chick. What's her name? What the fuck? Según tenían more.
Oh, Beth Phoenix.
Beth Phoenix. I remember her. I remember la Morenota, the Medusa. I remember her, but she got pregnant and then she got laid off. There's many that are wrestling. I'm like, and I want to make memory to Michelle McCool. I'm like, I don't remember your fights. I don't remember your wrestlings. I'm like, I'm sorry. I'm like, then we jump to AJ Lee, who kind of brought wrestling. We brought it into fucking Paige. She brought in wrestling. Oh, no, was her Paige? Sí, ¿verdad? La que se retiró, the British albino.
Got banned?
Yes, okay,
yes, that's Paige, yes.
Okay. Y luego, then we get into finally the real wrestlers, which is fucking Charlotte Flair, Bailey, ¿cómo se llama? Esta pinche bitch, the man, Becky Lynch. And who was the fourth girl? It was Charlie, Bailey. I forgot who's the fourth girl. ¿Cómo se llama? Pero it was that revolution of wrestling chicks. Oh, the one that's with Michelle Monet, or the Mercedes. She was over here in Raw.
Oh, Sasha Banks.
Sasha Banks, which I always thought she was a good wrestler. I just didn't like her. Like I don't know. I liked the wrestling. I hate her on the mic. ¿Cómo se llama? Same with. Well, I want to say these four girls that I mentioned. I always hated them on the mic, and I love their wrestling. But then what happened again? Another 10 more years. Now we have actually good wrestlers. We have Lara Valkyria. We have Stephanie Vaquer,
Yeah.
Rodriguez, fucking Raquel. Esta, ¿cómo se llama? Even the Storm chick. I can't, Jay Cargill. I love her. Es así. Storm. Storm. She has to be Storm. X-Men. I mean, MCU. You know who to cast. Um,
No,
like
they don't. No, hold on. No, no. Yeah, no. Don't listen. Just continue. Carry on. Just don't listen to that take. No.
Chelsea Green, which I love that she plays this goofy character like fucking Santino. So I'm like, I'm remember all these chicks. I remember all these old chicks, Stacy Cleaver, Tori Wilson, and all them that kind of suck the wrestling. But then once we get in that Divas momentum, the Divas title, I only remember with that title for the Divas, Edge's wife, Beth Phoenix, AJ Lee was part of that. The Bella Twins, unfortunately, even though I've always hated them, ¿cómo se llama? Lita was part of that for a moment. And then there's another one. There's another one that was part of it for a good was it Melina? Johnny Mercury's Johnny
Yeah,
Knight's
Melina.
Melina, I think she was part of that parte también. And again, I'm like, I keep looking at Michelle, I'm like, what the fuck did he do again? Like, I'm sorry, but what did you do?
I mean, and and it's crazy you mentioned all this because I know that people have been hating, well, saying not hating, but saying about WWE, like, hey, all your faces of a company are over 40, with the exceptions of Braun Breaker and Dominic Mysterio. And like, but then you look at the women's side, they're all basically under 30.
Yes.
Excluding Becky Lynch, but like obviously like Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan and Stephanie Vaquer and Roxanne Perez and the other one from Judgment Day, Raquel Rodriguez, and so all these female wrestlers like for some reason have more, I guess more playtime at this point. Like, hey, like if you actually play the ball right, in a way you could have the woman really overtake your show if you actually do it right. If you were to do it right, obviously they're not gonna do it because they obviously men will always be superior in sports, I guess you could say. So that's why they won't do it and they won't pull the trigger. But that the future right now currently is with the females in wrestling.
Yes, and it is. I mean, we even when Ronda Rousey came in and people were shitting on her because she felt like, oh, I'm this, I'm that. I'm like, the girl can wrestle. She knew how to wrestle. At least in my eyes, I was entertained by her matches because she kind of brought this realistic look to it. Pero como se llama? Obviously, the fans didn't like her, and when the fans don't fucking love you or don't like you, that's it for your career.
Yeah,
You're not gonna
because the fans run the show. Yeah, that's what it is.
run the show. I'm like, ¿cómo se llama? Even right now that I want to look at all these guys, because perdón, I wanted to touch on something, which I didn't say when I was talking about the girls, right? Stephanie McMahon, well fucking deserved to be in the Hall of Fame. Well fucking deserved. I'm like a little too late because I think she should have gone first before others, pero well deserved. Y cómo se llama? Even her, like I'm not against it. I'm not against. She did a big. She was in the Attitude Era. I remember when she was in the Ruthless Aggression Era. Y ya luego estaba con the Corporate. Even when she got kicked by Randy Orton, I was like you're very well deserved. Cómo se llama? But even when right now that you're talking about the ages, I'm like, maybe I didn't notice it back in the day when fools were injured because I wasn't into storyline and all that. But I feel like wrestlers in this era get injured more often.
I mean, again, like you, I obviously stopped watching wrestling for a long while, but I mean, you could be right. You could be right, but at the same time, social media game that far back wasn't around. We wouldn't really know when people were actually injured. People were playing fake injured. Being on screen while the cast in their hand, not actually knowing if it's actual surgery or not. But at the same time,
well, actually, that's what I was gonna touch on because you brought it up. I believe back in the day they allowed you to that when the wrestler wouldn't wrestle because he's like, oh, let's be in the background or in the commentator. I believe they were injured when they wouldn't wrestle for a good while, or when they had a cast on, they were actually injured, but they would keep them on TV time.
right?
because of all the bullshit with AEW and contracts and all that, they'd rather push him out of the TV so that since you didn't wrestle, now you can't. We have to pay you until your contract's over. But if you're in TV, we have to pay you for that time, so your contract is still on. Uh,
Right.
like, so basically, yeah, now that you brought it up, yes, I think you're right on the part of the social media, but you're wrong on the aspect that they were fake injury. I just think they were injured, just not for the arm. I think the arm was just the excuse. Like, oh, I can't wrestle.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah, it could be different variations. And but like you said, always blame it on the arm. It's the easiest thing to show on TV that you're injured in a way.
Yeah, yeah. Y cómo se llama, maybe le sacaron la pinche muela, and he's like, oh, my arm. And so they will keep him on commentator. They keep him in the background. But yeah, the thing is that maybe it is that because I always saw them on screen. That's why I'm like, okay, maybe the injuries were always the same. I just didn't see them because Dominic, desde que se hizo champion in WrestleMania to WrestleMania right now, within this year of just wrestling, of between WrestleMania and WrestleMania, I think he's been injured 2 times this year.
Yeah. Yeah, because yeah, that is true. Because at one point he still had the title and he was injured.
Yeah,
but he didn't vacate it. Mm-hmm.
Oh, when he was gonna wrestle AJ Styles, remember he didn't wrestle for like 3 weeks.
Yeah, you're right. We're in Saudi, I think it was. Yeah.
See, Saudi, I think, yeah, Saudi.
One of those places out there. Yeah.
Y como se llama, that's where I was like, okay, well, if you're not injured, why do you still have the belt? But they used that injury like how I told you, they kept them on screen to continue a feud in a way, a build up.
Right.
Y ya con AJ Styles, he was kind of cleared. So that's where I was like, that's what they should do. They should bring back that. Y pues ni modo. If your guy got injured, pay them the money, but keep him on screen. Like LA Knight is not injured.
No, LA Knight, it's not. I guess he just got his vacation sabbatical, but I know he's coming back in, whatever, Rumble for sure, guaranteed. The only one that I'm still like, is he gonna come back soon? Is Kevin Owens. No, he's obviously injured for sure. We just don't know when he's actually come back, if he comes back.
I thought he retired.
No, he's not retired. He's just injured. His neck broken, whatever. His back, whatever.
He's gonna die in that shit, dude.
I mean, the way he be doing himself, yeah, at this point, it's like you're asking yourself to get injured, But we can't complain about his product. So
that's something, because I think I became a fan because Kevin Owens been with WWE for 10 years already. I think I became it's been a while now.
No, I think it's been like longer because I remember. Well, actually, 2016. Damn, I've been in Georgia for 10 years now. Yeah, so because I remember when Goldberg came back in 2016 or whatever, he beat Kevin Owens for a title.
That's right.
Yeah.
That was in 2016.
That was 2016. Yeah, because I moved out here in 2017, and I was like, during 16, I had a crew member at Chipotle who were talking to me about wrestling. And I'm like, bro, why is girls main eventing the WrestleMania when you have Goldberg with a title? Like, that makes no sense. Something like this.
I did not know it was that far away. Because then he's older than that. Because if it's 2016, this fool was wrestling John Cena for the U.S. title when John Cena had the open title, and he was NXT champion.
Yeah, it's been a minute. Yeah, longer than 10. That's what I'm saying. For sure, longer than 10 years.
Fuck, 10. Okay, well, this was been there for 15 years. Let's just put it at 13 plus.
Yeah, 13 plus. Yeah,
13 plus. And I was never a fan of him. Now that I'm older, I'm barely becoming a fan of him. And I became a fan of him when he became heel against Cody. Maybe because I don't like Cody as much, but because everything he was saying made sense. I was like, you betrayed the team, bro. You're tagging with that, and I hate how people sometimes, and that's where I think that another hot take, or maybe not hot at all, WWE fans are very toxic. They only want to like what they want to like, when in reality, their shit doesn't make sense while you're rooting for him. He betrayed KO and fucking Randy Orton to tag with Roman Reigns just to fucking lose.
Right.
And the Drew McIntyre thing, everything he did with Punk, everything with everyone else, he was right about that.
No, I mean, I agree. I agree with what you're saying. I agree with the entire statement that you've been saying, in which the reason why he turned was that,
when Rhea Ripley when Dominic betrayed her, or when everybody betrayed Priest, I was like, bro, I'm like, they did the same shit to fucking Edge.
They did the same shit to Rey Mysterio. I'm like, karma. I'm like, but yet people forgot about the like let's root for this. I'm like, yes. I'm like, I don't know. The at least for all those turns, I didn't like those heel turns or those face turns. It didn't make sense to me because I'm like, for me, you have to do something good to actually become a face. Like El Grande Americano, I guess he's becoming well, he's face in Mexico and he's a fucking heel in the United States. His fucking character is not working for shit out here because especially with he has a little stable with the
The three
little
grandes.
uh-huh. Like I don't. I wish it just would have been just him. But even him here in the states, I don't think it was gonna hit. In Mexico, that fool, they're gonna keep his character alive maybe for years. You know how
I
they do.
mean, but the question is even here with Chad Gable when he comes back. Like, it's like, do you give him back the mask or do you just let Chad Gable be Chad Gable at this point? You know,
Let Chad Gable be Chad Gable.
you kind of have to at this point.
Maybe have them face both of them before you take off the mask from Chad Gable. Like, let's say, okay, I'm gonna put it this way. Let's say they're at the Royal Rumble, y sale el Grande Americano, the one that we've been having, and then like number 17 is Grande Americano.
Okay, so
And
like both of them, yeah.
yes, and then when they're wrestling, have everybody in their que están tirados, and then they're facing each other, and it was like, oh, what the hell? And then either you can uncover him right there, or have Chad Gable eliminate Grande Americano. Grande Americano calls him out on Raw. Hey, mask versus mask, and there you go, boom, boom, Saturday Night Main Event, or next Monday on Raw, mask
Right.
versus, and that's when you uncover Chad Gable.
Yeah.
I mean, you see, I can write wrestling. It's WWE. Come on.
You just gotta get all the. You just gotta make sure you have all the Grande Americanos in the ring at the same time, so you could do the Spider-Man meme. You know, the pointing at each other.
They kind of. I'm not gonna say they messed up on it, but they should have kept that as a gag. You know, have like the multiverse of America, Grande Americanos, but with the same mask. I do love the fact that when he fights in Mexico, he has a Mexican one, and when he fights in the US, he has a US one. I'm like, oh, that's
Right.
pretty cool. And the mask is not badass. I mean, it's not as bad. It's actually pretty decent. It's a decent mask.
I mean, I'm not sure if it's still the same one, but if it still says Grande Americano here, it's like it kind of sucks that it says that because without it, it looks pretty smooth.
Yes, I think I was talking. Oh no, you're right. I was talking about because I always see him from the side when he's talking.
Yeah, no,
And
from the side it looks great. You know, it's just that big old stamp on his forehead. Like take that off, and it'd be like a solid mask, like a
like
purchasable one where I would, you know.
remove it and put it on your fucking chest. Like it's, I don't know. I think
Yeah.
they were going with the exaggeration part that he was an American, being Mexican. I'm the dude playing another guy disguised as another dude. Or como se llama
Basically.
Yeah. But where do you see the future for the Royal going into Royal Rumble, Elimination Chamber, and WrestleMania at the end? Where do you see this going?
I mean, right now it's way too early to call. Even the Rumble for itself, we're still 3 weeks out from the Rumble. You know, nobody still has declared for the Rumble. Obviously, we're speculating like, okay, I'm speculating Oba's not coming back until the Rumble. That's
Okay.
what I'm speculating. Obviously, when it comes down to Chris Jericho, it's been rumored that he was supposed to be on the 6th of January at Raw. Didn't happen. Now I'm saying, okay, well, he'll probably pop at the Rumble. He's the only one that goes with countdowns, you know. So what's a better countdown than the Royal Rumble countdown?
That's
You know,
that's wouldn't be bad. That wouldn't be bad at all. I'll say this: if Oba Femi doesn't win it, he should break Roman's record.
hell no, no. I think WWE has moved along away from the long tenure championship runs. You know, because if I'm mistaken, I think that
No, no,
Roman.
no, no. The eliminating opponents.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant like in championship, like holding it for
No.
3 years plus. You know, no.
The only reason it worked out for Roman because that motherfucker was part time, so he wasn't even wrestling. That's bullshit.
I mean, he wasn't, but every time he came out was pretty solid. You know, I'd rather have a part-time Roman than a part-time Cody. I'd rather do that, to be honest.
Yeah, that's true.
So.
Right, yeah, and not to be fucked up, but I'll say it better. I'd rather have a part time Roman than a full time Cody. Well, that's just me being a fucking hater.
No, I mean at the same point is like if you think about it, Cody has defended the title almost as much as Roman did during his part-time time. You know, so it's like if you think about it, it's like, yo, you're full time, but you're not really defending your title. You're just there.
Yes, and let's be honest, his run as a champion wasn't the best run. Like it was something was missing. Honestly, you only think about Cody's run like this: Roman Reigns, John Cena, and
Well,
John Cena takes it because he became a heel.
yeah, yeah. I mean, that's the point. I mean, yeah, it's not rememberable. It was a bad run, and then he won it back, and it was still a bad run. After seeing it was what, Drew, I guess. No, but again, it's I don't know. All his feuds were just blah or whatever. They were just bland. They were like, I don't know what Bad Bunny say, the falta sazon or whatever. So on one of his songs. But yeah, it's
I,
like that.
I can put in Kevin Owens in there. I think he was a champion already, right? Cody was champion already for Kevin Owens.
Yeah, and they were fighting, and then he got the Eagle champion. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. See.
Yeah.
Okay. So I can put that one. So for me, it would have to be Roman. I did like the feud with Kevin Owens. I did like it. I'm not gonna lie. And then I'll put on John Cena there, and possibly Drew McIntyre. I just don't think their fights were that great.
Well, I mean, I just think in general, it's Cody. That's what he is. His fights really aren't great. Now you could do Cody Cutter from the top of the turnbuckle, and it's just like, okay,
And I'll say this: defending Cody now, right? Defending Cody. Every time he's involved in a stipulation, like especially if it's like a hardcore match, he does put his part. He puts his body on the line, and I have to give him respect for that because I know that Randy Orton didn't do that shit. Ever since he did the thumbtacks, I'm playing it safe. I'm not gonna jump. He said it himself many times. The Miz, another little bitch. I paid for your money. Fucking your body.
longevity. There's a reason why John Cena walks the way that he does.
Hey, but it's like that. That's pobrecito, pobrecito porque lo miro caminar, and I'm like, bro, how the fuck do you like? Like it's like if you fucking put 20 steroids and become the Hulk when you're wrestling, and you can't even fucking tell. Or when you're doing movies, but when you do it, I see like a regular, like dude, no sé, like maybe he is taking some injections, but that shit kind of scares me, bro.
Honestly, I don't know. Yeah, because I wasn't even watching. I put it as background noise. I put freelance on background noise earlier this morning before I went to work. And I was doing like chores. But yeah, I was trying to look for his figure of when he's walking in real life, and I'm just like, why don't you see it in movies? Like, why don't you see his deformation, I guess you could say, in movies? Like, you see it in real life, but for some reason, I don't know if they put special effects or something to fix it. I don't know.
When I saw that, when I saw his interviews that he walks like that and all that, and then I see his movies that he never takes off his shirt, so I was thinking, I'm like, they probably has son como body, like a body thing where, ¿cómo se dice la palabra? It's like if it's like madera or big or thick plastic that makes you sit up straight so that you can always be
like a back brace.
Like there you go, like a back brace, pero todo like from head to toe, right? But then when I saw him wrestling this whole run that he's wrestling without a shirt, I'm like, yeah, I have no fucking clue how he does it. Because when he didn't do his speech, which I fucking got mad at him, he walked like that when he left. I don't know if you noticed that. He kind of like in a minute he kind of forgot and he was like kind of walking like that, and then he remembered and then he started walking straight again. Watch it again. When he's walking out, he walks like an old man. And by the time that he gets and turns around, he kind of remembers. So he flexes himself up again. So it's just maybe it's all fucking mental.
Maybe, yeah.
Bro, like I kind of feel bad for him in a way. I do. Like that's a lot of years but he's a millionaire. So can I feel too bad? Nah.
I mean, I wonder. Like, I'm sure you could pay to get it fixed. I'm sure. I don't know. Maybe.
I'm pretty sure if Kurt Angle can do like fucking 6 neck surgeries
and still wrestle, yeah, I'm pretty sure.